All right. Come on. All right. Shalom, shalom. It's your brothers Araya Allah down here at the GMS Virginia camp. Pushing His word. Through meekness and sincerity. All right. But first and foremost, I'm gonna give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha Hakodash. Okay. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone who told me this 100% truth according to the Holy Scriptures. All right. This lesson is going into the Lashawan Kodash, going into the numbers, okay, the basics, all right, and going into the numbers, I'm just going to list 1 through 10. I'm going to break it down, go into it, and it should be a quick lesson, through the Spirit, all right. So as you can see right here, on the drawing board, okay, brothers can see it's a lot, okay, and go into it, all right. So starting here from the left, all right, on the left hand side, you got the Hebrew word achad, okay, which means one, all right. So breaking it down, you have ah, you got ha, and then you got da. But when you put the connector in, it drops the a for the da, okay. So when you put it all together, you have achad, which is one, all right. So going into the next one, you have sha, you have na, and then you have ya. Okay. Now going into that, putting it all together is shanya. Okay, that's the correct way to pronounce it. Okay, shanya, which means two. All right. Next, we have shalash. All right. You got sha, you got la, and you have sha. Okay. And as you notice, when you have the connectors here, it just drops off the end of the character because in Paleo Hebrew, the two vowel sounds, you have ah and you have I. Okay, so going into to number 3, you have shalash. Okay, shalash. All right, and that's the word. I mean, salaki. That's the number 3. Okay, next you have ah, you have ra, you have ba, you have I. Okay, so you have a rabbi, which means forward. Okay, next going into number 5. All right, and this is just a quick hit through the spirit, for brothers. So right here you have this connector. So like you're not the connector, you have the character, right, which is cha. Okay, and then you have ma, and you have sha with the connector in it. Okay, so you have ka ma sha, but when you put it all together, the connector drops the a, which when you have chamash. Okay, and remember, Hebrew is written from right to left. Okay, so you read it from right to left. So you have chamash. All right, chamash, which is number 5. Okay, next you have sha. Okay, and altogether it's the same, shashak, all right, which means 6. And for this, you don't need a connector, all right, because how it's pronounced is shashak, all right. Next, we have shabai, all right, shabai. And going into it, you have sha, you have ba, and you have I. Okay, so going into shabai is what? Number 7. Okay, next, you have shamawana. Okay, shamawana. Shabbat shalom, Yahweh Shemi Yahshua. Going into the number 8, you have shamawana. Okay, number 8. Okay, so as you can see at the end, it has the connector with the na and the ha. Okay, with the connector in between the na and the ha, it drops the a at the end of the ha. Okay, so then you put it all together, you have shamawana. All right. Next, you have, your brothers can see, you have the shy. Okay, you have tha, sha, and I. Okay, now when you put the connector in between the sha and the I, it drops the ah from the sha. Okay, so you have the shy, which is 9. Okay, And then last but not least, you have Ashara. Okay, so with this, you don't need the connectors because when you say it all fluently together, uh, it goes into 10. Okay, so Ashara all together. Okay, and that's when you have 10. Now let's do a quick review. All right, you have a Khud, you have Shanya, you have Shalash for number 2. So like I'm gonna go over it again. You have a Khud for number 1, Shanya for number 2, Shalash for number 3, Arabai for number 4. You have Kamash for number 5. You have Shasha for number 6. You have Shabai for number 7. And you have Shamawana for number 8. And then you have Tasha for number 9. And you have Arasha for number 10. Okay, so now that we have all those together, since it was, pretty quick through the spirit, I'm gonna just, go. I'm gonna just go 10 to 20. Okay, so let me erase this real quick, and then Salakia. Just erase this real quick, and then I'll just put the number for 11. Okay, so Lord willing, through the spirit, brothers can rewind back. Salaki already erased it, but take a screenshot of it. You go back and play it, and I'll write it down so you can remember the numbers. All right. Dry erase board is not that good, but okay. So next we have, you have for the word 11, okay, you will put a ch ashara. Okay, so I'm gonna write it in Hebrew. All right. Chud, chud, chud. And give myself enough room. Slack. Got chud, chud, and then chud, I, sha, and then ra. So then put it all together. You have Slacky, bear with me. Chud, I, sha, ra. All right. So going in to 11. Okay, Slacky, number 11. Okay, so boom, right here in the Paleo Hebrew, you have you have cha, you have da, and then with the connector, it breaks off and puts it as chud. So you have a chud, and then you have ashara. Okay, ashara is 10. Okay, but then to add it together, you will put a chud in front of ashara, what makes it 11. Okay, because when you read throughout the scriptures, like let's say for the Old Testament, when it goes into like the genealogy and it goes into the ages and things of that nature, when you see when it mentions the numbers, it always says like 2 in 30 years, or it says 1 in 10 years, or 2 in 30 something years, or so on and so forth, right? Because the Hebrew is written from right to left. So when they translate it into English, that's why it says 2 in 30 something years. All right, but when you put it in Hebrew, you will put the number that you're adding with the 10, okay, which is 1, okay. So when you add 1 with 10, that gives you what? 11. Okay, so that's when you have a chud ashara, and then this is how you would say it in the Hebrew, but spell it out in the English. So you have a chud and ashara, which is 11. All right, and then next for number 2, you will put shanya, right, and then you will say ashara for 12. All right, which I'm gonna write it down real quick just so bros can see. And then you do you basically do the same thing all the way going into to 20. All right. But I'm gonna write number 12 down for Akim just so you can see real quick. So you have Sha Salakia. You have Sha, and then you have Na, and then you have Ya, Shan Ya, and then you will have Salak. I didn't even put Arasha, Ashara Salakia. So you have Sha, Na, Ya. Okay, and then A, Sha, and then Ra. Okay, so Shanya, Ashara, which is 12. All right. So boom, you got Salaki. I didn't even spell it out. Salaki. Shan Ya Aisha Ra. Salaki for my handwriting, but here you have it. Again, you have Shan and then Ya and then Ashara. Okay, so going into Shanya again, that's number 2. Okay, so you would say Shanya Ashara. Okay, and that's where you get the number 12. All right, so once you learn pretty much 1 through 10, 11 through 20 is going to be easy because all you're doing is starting with the first number that you want to use, whether it's 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, and then you put Asherah at the end of it. Okay, so for 13, you will have what? Shasha. Salaki. You have Shalash, right? Shalash Asherah. Okay, for 13, and then 14, you will have Arabai Asherah, and then 5 Hamash Asherah, and then 6 Shasha Asherah, right? And then 7 you will have Shabai Asherah, and then 8 Shamawana Asherah, and then 9 you will have Dasha Asherah, and then for 20 I believe it's Asherah Yum, if I'm not mistaken. Uh, let's see. Yeah, Khan. So you would say Asharat Young. Okay. I'm gonna put that up here just so bros can see what I mean. Okay. So pretty much, 1 through 10. You have the basic numbers, and then from 11 through 19, you will have that number, and then you will have Asharat. All right. Now for 20, this is 20. You have Sha, Ra, and then you will have Yum. Okay, which is Sha, Ra, Yum. Okay, and then that equals 20. Okay, boom. So you have I, Sha, Ra, Yum. Okay, Asharayum, which is 20. Okay, and when you put that Yum there, it's just basically as a tenth. Okay, so for instance, Ashara is 10. Okay, and then when you put the Yum at the end of it, it makes it 20. And then for 30, for 30, you will put what? Shalash, and then you'll put Yum, which that makes it 30. And then if you want to say 31, or if you want to say 21, for 21, you will put a Hud, and then you put Ashara Yum. Okay, so this is 20, and I'm gonna do 21 real quick through the spirit, and then it'd be the same thing for you would do that all the way from the 20s all the way down to the 90s. Okay, and then hundreds is a different story, which I'll go into that a little will next lesson. I just want the bros just to get 1 through 20 through the spirit. So I'll put 21 just so bros can see. So you will have a khud, khud, and then you have a sha ra yam. Oh, so like I didn't give myself enough room. Okay, start over here. Could sha ra yam, which is 21. Could sha ra yam. Boom. 21. Boom. So boom. As you have it, you have a hood, asha, ra, yum with the connector. So obviously, like I mentioned before, going into number one, a hood, with the connector, it drops the ah for da. Okay, so you have a hood, and then asha, ra, yum. Okay, instead of the ma, you would drop the ah, and then you have yum. So Ashara Yum, which makes it 21. Okay. And then, so on and so forth. And if you want to put 22, you'll put Shanya Ashara Yum. All right. Now I'm gonna do 31 just so you can see that real quick. Just so you can see that it doesn't change this. So I'm gonna just erase this and keep that. You will have Sha La Shalash. Okay. And then Shalash Rashayim. So Shalash. Boom. Just real quick. You'll have Shalash Ara Shayim. Okay, so Shalash as in 3, and then Asharayim. Okay, for 30. Okay, so you will put the number that you want to make it, whether it be 30, 40, 50, 60, or 70. You will put the number 1, 2, or 3, basically, to make it whatever tenth that you wanted it to be. Okay, so for an example, Shalash Arashayim, that's 30, and then you have Arabah uh, Asharam, which is 40. You have Hamash Asharayim, which is 50, and then so on and so forth. And then if you want to put 51 or whatever the case may be, again you would, or 31, you would say Achud Shalash Asharayim. Okay, so Lord willing, this lesson, was edifying and Lord willing, it made sense, to the hopeful lake and to you bros out there that's been, tuning in, Lord willing, you know, I'll be able to do another lesson going into the Hebrew or the alphabet or the numbers and, Lord willing, some prayers as well. Uh, it's time that, brothers will start, sharpening themselves up on the Hebrew, including myself, because we're coming in times where you may have to speak Hebrew. And, you want to be able to, speak, getting close to your power, man. Understanding that your heritage and remembering that this was a tongue that we would speak, fluently, okay, to our brothers and sisters in our holy land, okay. The scriptures speak about in Judges the 5th chapter, okay, rehearsing the righteous acts and drawing water, man. So this is rehearsing the righteous acts, going back, to the numbers and going back to our heritage, all right. So, with that, I'm going to close out. Lord willing, was edifying to the hopeful elect, like I said. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha HaKodash. Okay, double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, Kazak Shalawam, to the hopeful elect. All right, and to you few sisters out there that's been tuning into these lessons, Until the next time, shalom.